Man, where would we be without consoles? I know my first one growing up was an Xbox, the original box.
The big old black one?
The big old black one
with the green X on
you
the top
can murder somebody with
Hey,
that.
y'all stop saying black like that.
Sorry.
We're observant. I'm very sorry. That's what it was. We can't
There was
change
too much emphasis on the black.
We can't
You like black boxes?
We can't change the past, okay?
Hey, that's the different black box.
So you had the Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, the
So-
OG,
so
my brother.
So you started late.
That is pretty late.
Not
That's
really
pretty late in the
like
genre.
Not like my personal own was the Xbox.
What was your first?
My very first console I ever played was the Nintendo.
That's what we're getting at. Yeah, what was the first one that got you into gaming?
The one before the 64.
The
Super Nintendo.
Yeah. God damn, I feel old.
No, Super Nintendo was probably one of my first, except for it was really the Sega, like a Sega Genesis.
Yeah, like
those were like gold.
I started on the Super Nintendo as well.
I started on the Super Nintendo, but I really, really got into gaming on the Nintendo 64.
That was me too. I love Super Mario 64. I love Mario Kart. Oh, that was my stuff right there.
I started on the old Hand-O-Matic. Best game system out there.
Best game system. He loved to play with his joystick.
Pong.
That's right.
It was a game of Pong without, the white bars and the ball. Well, there were
two balls in this game.
It was Pong. The game was very fast. The game was very fast paced. There was an explosion at the end.
at
short rounds.
The game was directed by Michael Bay. But no, the game system I ever played, it would also be, I believe, the Sega Genesis. I mean, I was lucky enough to have two older brothers that begged my mom for games and stuff before, so I got their hand-me-downs. So when they were playing like the Super Nintendos and all that stuff, I'm thinking I'm playing the newest damn stuff. I'm playing like the Sega Genesis, and then I had the Super Nintendo. I think I played every single game system. I remember having the Dreamcast. I think I played every game system except the original like Atari, and the next one probably
I
after
played
that.
it, but I wasn't the first one I've ever done.
I've never even played it. Yeah,
I've definitely played it. I mean, they were like relics, man, golden relics.
Those were
well, they're pretty much in the museums now. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, now, but
Even
when
the
we were
Nintendo.
younger, you could have found an Atari, unfortunately, like at Goodwill.
what was the game system where you felt like you became a real gamer? Like not like when you first played it, like when you picked it up and you're like, oh, I could beat someone in this. Like for me, it was definitely the PlayStation 2. Remember when the PlayStation 2 came out and that was like the hottest thing in the world? Like
It was
everyone
amazing.
was trying to get the PlayStation 2.
Oh, yeah.
I remember Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3 was my game for that, and I was challenging everybody. I go right on that next door to like get this smoke in that game, But I lived in the hood, so we had to I had my shit chained to the fucking porch and shit, so they come over,
Man,
Don't
I
touch
grew
me.
up in that neighborhood. So
Man,
many
the first-
bikes got lost. If you didn't chain
Oh,
that
I have a
thing
few of
down-
them. They're probably yours.
Alright, so I have this one. I ain't gonna lie. I went dumpster diving for it. It's one of those GT trick bikes.
Hey, ain't no shame in dumpster diving.
Nah.
This broke bastard.
I learned it from Cordell. You broke bastard.
Hey, so anyways, back to the subject. My first game I thought I could beat someone in
Sure.
was actually Sonic Battle Adventure 2.
Ooh.
That's not even that's not even
It
multiplayer,
is.
is
It's
it?
2-player. You can
Same
do
screen,
2-player.
bro.
Really?
Same
Yeah.
screen.
Dude, I used to whoop people on that. We'd be like, who can get done with this level the fastest? I'd beat people by a minute or two. The only thing you could beat me at is the grinding race if you were Metal Sonic. That's because you went twice as fast while you're grinding. And that's what the whole thing is. And I ain't talking about like booty grinding. I'm talking about like skateboard grinding.
Yeah, dude, I loved that game.
What about you, Dylan?
Well, man, when the very first game, like
My
when I
Teletubbies
was
and Pony Adventures?
without
Yeah,
doubt.
dude.
So
It was
Respect.
fucking fire.
when I first thought I was really becoming a
Straight
gamer,
fire.
besides Nintendo 64, because You are not going to beat me in Mario Party. You are not going to beat me in Mario Kart. Just wasn't going to happen. But that's when I really started, and then came the GameCube. The GameCube, I would destroy. You want to do split screen, and I will destroy you in any game on that.
Look at this big talk.
I'll tell you.
Dude,
What about the Mario Kart right now? What's up?
The
Let's
Mario
Super Smash Brothers right now.
Oh,
yes, the Super
dude,
Smash
that's
Bros.
another
Yeah,
one. The
yes.
Super Smash Bros. On the Nintendo 64, without a doubt, was another game.
I like
I got a
better.
serious
that. We'll
question.
see what we're talking about. The first ones that we thought you were actually good enough in. I mean, in reality, when
I
being
never
that
played
young,
that one that
I was
enough.
probably trash. I was comparing because I was playing with a bunch of like 6 and 8 year olds, whatever that game came out and stuff.
Button mash.
But
Yeah.
well, no, I knew the moves. I just like I said, you
was
think you're a
much
lot
easier to
better
button
at that
mash.
when you're playing with those people. But for real though, PTA, anyone out there want this smoke? 1v1 me Tetris right now.
Tetris or Tetrisphere? Because I played me some Tetrisphere and I can whoop you.
Tetris, man.
Nah,
I ain't none
Get
about
some-
that.
Tetrisphere was
Get-
on a whole nother level.
Get this whooping.
What about you,
This good old
Ash?
bona fide whooping.
For me, I used to get into the Mario Kart and everything, but I think for me, the real competitive gaming side in me hit me on Halo on the OG Xbox.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
really like made me just want to
yeah.
beat all my friends.
I'm so
And
bad at Halo. Oh, I love the game, but I'm
Yeah.
really bad at it.
It's a really fun multiplayer game if you give it the time, because people are, that's an older game. People are good at it. now.
I rage quit on that. That's another
Yeah.
one. What game made you rage quit?
Call of Duty.
What's
Hands down. No, hands down.
the only game where every death is bullshit?
Yes,
Where
Call of Duty.
No one ever
I should
thinks
not.
they
I should
shouldn't
not have
died.
died the way I died. All right,
Like
I'm bullshit.
You get triple team, pretty much gangbang like 4 of their members. That's fucking bullshit. I should have died.
It's because the time to kill in that game is so quick. Like Halo, it takes a while to kill somebody. Gears of
Yeah.
War, it takes a while. But in Call of Duty, you can die without even knowing.
That's it.
Right.
It's super quick, but it's like more to me. It was more realistic. But I mean, obviously, it was not realistic at all. But it was more realistic compared to the other games. Like, why is it taking so long to kill this guy? Like in Halo, I was like, oh, they see it. He's got armor. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
That's what I used to get annoyed about because I'd feel like I was killing someone and their armor would go and I'd die. And
I was like, what the hell?
A lot of people didn't like that. They didn't like how high you could jump. They call it the
Ah.
Halo jumping. I don't like that. Blah, blah,
It's
blah.
Halo. I mean, it's what it was.
I mean,
so
that
you
was the
said
design.
Call
Yeah.
of Duty for you made
Call
you
of
rage
Duty
quit.
made me rage. The very first game I've ever had to rage.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Never rage, but I love that
love
game.
that.
Probably
No.
Good game.
How
Good
do you
game.
rage on that game?
That's what I'm thinking.
I'll tell you right.
I don't know, man. When you're trying to do those, like beat those, because you know they had the little tiny
Yeah, the challenges
the
and
challenges to get those things, and you be grinding,
Yeah.
you make it all the way to the end, and you fall off that half pipe or up top on the thing at the very end, and you know you don't got enough time, and you're just like, son of a bitch. you know you can't finish it now. Like
Nah,
it was so
yeah.
fun, but it was the challenges. It was pretty much the challenges, but.
I was like, what? You couldn't make it? You couldn't do the Tony Hawk 900? And I was like, screw this! Like I'm done. You couldn't land it.
Well, no, I mean,
I
like I
get
said,
that.
the first game that ever made me rage. It's nothing compared to Call of Duty or anything, but I think that was the first one I found out about rage quit. What about you, man? What was your first game where you discovered the rage quit?
This is probably going to show my age. Let's go back to the Nintendo 64.
Okay.
Shows how much my parents didn't care about my mental health either.
Grand Theft Auto.
I don't
Nope.
think anybody ever cared about your mental health. Like, go
Sure
on.
enough, don't. Chris, high five.
High five.
I would say the one that made me rage quit the most.
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Nah, Resident Evil on
Oh.
Nintendo 64.
Oh.
I hated that
Zombie
game.
game.
The reason I
Gosh.
remember hating it so much is I got mad and I threw that controller and
Pulled the console with it, and everything was.
pulled the console with it. Dad heard it, and next thing you know, I heard.
The freaking belt came off and whipped him real quick. What are you doing? He's like, no. I mean, the console was fine. The controller was fine. Those things were indestructible.
Yeah, they
It
were
was
like
just
a
the
Nokia.
fact that he did it. It was like, you piece of shit. Wow.
And you never forget that. That was like
Why'd he beat you and not the console?
because I threw the cord, which caused the console to rip out the wall.
I mean, it makes sense.
You guys
I mean-
remember the game cartridges, and you gotta blow them before you put them in.
Right.
You gotta.
You know,
They always wanted to be pleased.
Yeah.
They
Not
never
only did
pleased
that-
us.
Not only did that game make me mad, there was a lot of times I had to go.
It was like trying to get it to pay back on, hit reset a bunch of times.
Can I change my answer? Can that be my rage quitting? Is trying to get those
Rage quit?
trying to get those
When
to work.
When,
Not even the
when the
game.
cartridge
worked
wouldn't
for
work.
me.
Just dealing.
My first rage quit though was whenever I played Paper Mario, dude. I used to play for so long. I'd play it for like 5 or 6 hours, and I'd forget to save. You die.
Isn't Paper Mario like fairly recent though, like
No.
2010s and stuff?
No,
God, no.
That was a Paper Mario on the Nintendo 64, and it
Oh,
was the absolute best. You can still buy a copy for like $60, so that tells you how good it is.
Damn.
Anyways, I would get so far into this thing, and I would die, and I'd be like, I did all this crap. And back then, I wasn't so smart. You'd go through like dry desert just by guessing. Yeah, well, this thing's like this huge grid, and whenever you're a kid, it feels like a huge maze, and like you never get to where you want to go. And so I got past that part. I beat the boss. I got to the next level, the next star spirit you got to unlock, and I died, and I had to go all the way back. And I was just all like, hey, man, I hate this game. I turned the game off, and I threw the game somewhere.
I've never broken a controller or anything from rage quitting.
I've never broke a controller, but I can tell you what I have done. I was playing Super Smash Bros. The challenges you got to do inside the campaign, and I was just trying to get this one done. I was trying to unlock these characters, and I just could not beat this one. I could not do it, and I just kept doing it over and over, and I got so mad. I literally just put my controller down, and I took my right arm, and I just like swung as hard as I could at my wall, dude. Now there was a permanent hole in my wall.
So with white people just punching through walls.
It was a thing. I mean,
Now,
is that like a rite of passage?
It is the rite of passage. Don't punch walls, okay?
This white boy went on a different path. Like, I went for a tree, ended up getting 3 boxer fractures in my right hand.
See, I found out what was breakable.
My knuckles
It was the
right
wall.
there.
You're the real MVP.
I'm an OG, fool.
So I went outside. He had the anger. He had so much anger but he had so much control to go outside and like, I'm gonna punch this shit out of the tree.
Look,
right?
He goes,
look.
at least I break my hand. I won't get beaten again
I
with
ain't
that
gonna
belt
lie.
for
No, I learned my lesson hard on that one. It was either hit that tree,
Or have his dad hit him.
no, or just break my hand off this chick's face. Like,
Like, I couldn't
you
do
know the
I
story.
would have went with the latter. Was she pretty? It's okay to hit him if they're not pretty.
Bruh,
Everybody knows that.
all right.
Not
So
condone
full
domestic
disclosure,
violence
where
here
do
on this
you
channel.
where do you classify meth head?
Is she a pretty meth head? How much teeth does she have?
Not many.
Oh, she had teeth, but
To be honest, I don't think anyone's gonna get upset if you hit a meth head. I'm not saying that it's okay to hit women. I'm just saying that if you were to hit a woman,
It's better
meth
if it's a
head,
meth head.
it's better as a meth head.
The meth head didn't feel anything, obviously.
She was
Right.
very high.
had a lot of copper too.
But what about you,
When
Hack?
you
What
hit
was your
Sonic
first
and all the dreams
was your
fall out.
first rage quitting experience? I don't think we heard from you yet.
Honestly, I can't remember which game made me just throw my controller down first.
Well, which
I can
one,
think of a lot of games that's made me do that.
which
Well,
one
think of
out of all
the
them?
thing of the furthest back you could think of. Obviously, there's-
Almost kind of like you, the whole Tony Hawk. Now that I look back at it,
You think about it.
it was
Yeah.
frustrating, right?
yeah.
Except
But-
I was a really good gamer, so I didn't have that issue.
But I've had some moments, man, where I've raged.
Dylan's
quit.
extremely humble, guys.
No worries.
It's one of his redeeming
You
qualities.
He
have
does-
no
if
Not
idea.
him
he
being so
doesn't-
modest.
If he doesn't stroke that eagle on the hour, it gets nasty.
He has to stroke other things if he doesn't stroke the
Back,
It's either one thing or the other.
I used to play UMGs. If you're not familiar with UMGs, it's pretty much like competitive gaming, but you're betting money. So
Yeah.
if you win, like say I bet $10 and my opponent's got bet $10, the winner gets 20. Well, really you get like 18 or something because the company takes their percentage. Blah blah blah. But anyways, I've had multiple experiences of like close games on there, and then just losing $20. And I don't think anybody's had a full rage quit until you're like losing money too. Like not only did this guy just beat me and he took my money.
That's a good point. I don't think I've ever been on
Like-
something where I bet money for a game.
I mean, now
It's a
that
real thing. People do it
That's
every day.
I could definitely see that being a serious rage quitting.
I could see that be a serious addiction too.
Oh
yeah.
One
He's
day you're
pretty
making
much
money.
poker
I mean, that's what it
video
is.
games.
It's gambling.
There'll be good players too that will purposely throw games, and whenever they're rating so bad, they'll go up against someone good,
Bet
and
a
they'll
lot of
bet
money.
a bunch of money on themselves because
Yeah.
they're the underdog, and they just make buttloads of money.
I bet.
by
I can
giving
see
them-
that.
It's a
Yeah,
turnaround
that's-
pick.
They
is what
smurf
it is.
their team up. They make their team look like Smurfs, and all of a sudden they come out and they're like Zeus and the God Squad.
Yep.
Ah, it sounds like the God Squad and Dylan.
It dives deep into that. I mean, you can go on UMG gaming and bet money, or you can play on a website called Game Battles, and you build your way up on Game Battles, and you earn these credits on there. And so many credits is valid to put you into like pro tournaments that has big cash pool prices, and it's pretty cool.
It's interesting. I couldn't.
It's crazy to think that there's profit in gaming, like playing gaming, not even streaming. Or anything
Not
like
streaming,
that.
but actually
Just
playing the
competitive
game.
gaming.
I could not imagine trying to actually. I couldn't bet my own money on that. I would have to think of myself as a god playing that game to bet any sorts of money. Because if I lose, sometimes I lose. Yeah, nobody. I don't always win, obviously. But there are plenty of gamers that are out there, but I could not bet money against that. Like a 1v1, hell no, nothing like that.
What?
I'm just the right amount of cocky to talk shit and then not bet.
Oh,
What's up?
With the
What's up?
subject
1v1 me
of-
Tetris. Put money on it. Let's not.
I bet my game's at home right now. And
So
God, if it was only like 10 degrees cooler and my hand wasn't cramped slightly and my eyebrow wasn't fixed, I'd you up right now. I'd show you what's what.
So well, we got the rage part out, but do you really think with you got these three mainstream consoles?
What, Nintendo,
This is
PlayStation, and Xbox.
You have Xbox who has decided to come out with a newer version. I can't remember the name, but
No one
it's
can
Scarlet.
dare remember the name.
Scarlet.
All they do is just keep.
That's right.
Xbox has the most backward ass naming system. Xbox One, Xbox
One
360, Xbox One XS, Xbox One XSW, Xbox Scarlet. Like, just go in an order. Like, I will say, at least PlayStation, their thing's not confusing or stupid that way. It's
PlayStation 2.
But you got
PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. Like,
you gotta look at it that way. The
What's
PlayStations have kind of kept the same design.
well, so
It's
is
very-
X,
very-
so is
Not really.
Xbox. Really, I mean,
As soon
no.
as
But the size, there's a pretty big drastic difference between Xbox and 360. Yes. There's also a very big drastic difference between PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2.
Well,
and then
also-
PlayStation 2 to 3 is just as big as just
I'm talking
drastic
about
difference.
Yeah.
the design of the planes of these casings.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Xbox decided to go with 360 to do like a curved system. The original Xbox was literally.
But I'm saying,
I think it was the tank.
I'm saying once they get to the Xbox, like the third one and the third PlayStation, they pretty much keep almost the same design.
yeah,
and
it
just
makes sense
make
to
it
do
just more
that.
sleeker.
I
Have
think
you
they're going to
guys-
be changing.
Have you guys seen the PS5?
I've
No.
heard about it. No,
It's
I haven't
com-
seen any pictures or anything like that.
There's real release pictures that's proven that this is the real deal, and it's releasing next winter.
Well, I don't play PlayStation.
Not
so.
this winter, but the next.
So-
But what I'm getting at it is y'all need to look at a picture of it. It is the funkiest design you've ever
Really?
seen in any console.
Really, it looks weird.
It's weird.
Is it weirder than Josh's game sphere? from
Is
Dressing
it
Josh?
weirder? Is it weirder than Dylan's penis shape?
No.
No.
Nothing will ever be that weird.
I mean, that's
It's like
something
a
that's like a
Captain
red
Hook.
rocket,
At least a hook.
like a red rocket, and Captain
Doesn't even.
Hook
It's
had
not
a-
very long, so it doesn't finish the hook. So it's like a lowercase c.
more like an asterisk.
It's a comma.
Yeah, so I just looked at what the PlayStation 5
And
actually
this
looks
is
like.
confirmed.
And if that's confirmed, that is crazy. I
What the hell?
I don't understand that
I'm not a fan
whatsoever.
of it.
Beat me up, Scotty.
I don't understand it whatsoever.
Hey, it's got a dick slot, so you ain't even got to move. You just flop it down.
if you really want to know what it looks like that.
That shit looks like a fucking fan. It looks like one of those. Look at the vents. It looks like a fan.
Yeah, dude.
I think that's the most-
It's like a Dyson.
That's the most
Damn,
drastic change in console looks.
That might be.
It might be a hard
Oh
change.
no, from GameCube to Wii though.
Yeah.
But look at that thing.
What's
again,
this
bro.
"Let's Go" on the side of it? What's that supposed to mean?
What do you mean?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's got like a little logo on the
Does
side.
it have the
It
specs?
says let's go.
or-
Let's go digital. That's all it says.
Oh.
It almost reminds me of some retro-y.
It does
console,
look way. It's like it looks like it's way far further ahead of our time.
Yeah.
So I think this is gonna release and it's not gonna be.
So you
exactly
think
what we think.
PlayStation's trying to do like Call of Duty did?
Yeah, they're trying to
Jump
go.
futuristic and fuck
Yeah.
everything up?
It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be horrible.
So what do you guys say? What do you think is the superior console? You going
I'm going Nintendo.
Nintendo? Oh, you're being
Damn.
playing devil's advocate, doing Nintendo.
Damn.
For the funnest games that you can even do with other people, I think Nintendo is the way to go. You don't really have any rage games, but every Mario game has been awesome. Mario Party, I had so much fun with Mario. Of course, I'd miss like Call of Duty and stuff because those versions on Nintendo suck. But Nintendo's just like a different genre of game. You can't really compare it to Call of Duty or anything.
Well,
Their games are so kid
I
oriented.
can definitely see that, and you can make a strong case for Nintendo because it's a good point. Like Nintendo, they're not killing in box office sales like for video games and
Or
things
graphics
like
or anything
or graphics,
like that.
but they really do. If you're talking about games for like playing with friends and stuff and outrageous, Nintendo's pretty high up there on like the best type of like family oriented games and games to play with people. Because I mean, like. I'll tell you this. I bought a damn Switch solely for Smash Bros.
Yes.
They made me go out and buy a game for one game. Like, I could not... There's no other console I can see
Just 'cause
myself
you're
going
black.
out and buying. Well, lots of people have done that. Lots of people go out and buy, like... I mean, it's that good, man.
I mean, I bought a game for like a disc for my
like,
Xbox,
I think, like...
but like with Dylan, he got me on the Game Pass, and in reality, that Game Pass does make sense.
Like, PlayStation has some really good exclusives, but I'm
Yeah.
not going to go out and buy a whole PlayStation 4 for God of War.
I
No.
have both. I have both consoles, and I tell you what, I do not play my PlayStation at all. The only time I was actually gonna play it is when Spider-Man came out, because I love Spider-Man. I, grew up on that when it came out. But I couldn't buy a whole console for one game.
No.
I thought about it only for Super Smash Bros.
That's
Without
what
a
I'm saying.
doubt.
That's a good point.
And then there was Pokemon. But that was about it. I literally could not bring myself to pay that
I'm
much
not
money
gonna
for that.
lie.
Who you giving the torch to on this one?
I'm gonna have to say Xbox. The only reason because I played every single console out there, and I love them all. I gravitate more towards Xbox. It's what I'm more familiar with. It's what I like. But if we're talking about the most superior, like overall, that has just about everything, I'm gonna have to say it's PC.
Hey, get the fuck out of here with that shit.
That's some bullshit.
I don't play PC personally.
I don't play
Honestly,
PC either,
it
but I
costs a
can
lot
see
of
it.
money, but they do have
It
the
is
most
superior.
things that you can do.
That's a good point.
You
I
can mod
mean, you're
things
right.
on there.
PC does.
Literally on PC right now, you can I think it's called PlayStation Now. That's their Game Pass, quote unquote. And if you got PC, you can play God of War and all these, PlayStation games. And if you have Game Pass, you can play Sea of Thieves and Gears of War as well, all on the PC. So it's like you're getting the best
It's both
of
worlds.
both worlds in one. And also, you're pulling way better graphics if you got.
I mean, yeah.
PC doesn't count.
PC.
PC is like that one chick that's only PC's Caitlyn Jenner. Like
A hybrid.
no, they're only attractive. they're only attractive qualities and stuff because everything about them is fake. They can just pick and like liposuction all that other stuff. If that makes any sense.
You got emulators. If you want to play the Nintendo 64, you got a computer. Download an emulator. Download the game. You've got it on your PC.
Yeah, I remember we used to do that on our phones. We would play the Pokemon emulator.
So
PC.
who do you give it to?
Console wise.
I'm doing it two parts, okay? The Xbox One X is the most powerful console right now.
Yeah.
So
Facts,
it's
big
obviously
facts.
better
Yeah.
than the PlayStation. That's a fact.
Big fan. People still argue with me on that one. I keep telling them, like, dude, you can just look
You
at
can't
the
argue
specs.
it.
The
Yeah.
specs and graphics are there. Why do you think the PlayStation came out with trying to do?
The PS4
5.
Pro does not. The PS4 Pro, which is their best version, is
Yeah.
not even on the spectrum of the X right now, and you can look that up.
Yeah, I know.
Did not know that.
I've
But-
told people this. They just won't believe you. They'll be like, "That's
Yeah.
not true."
I feel like sales-wise,
No.
though, the PS4 wins sales-wise because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have a PS4. I feel like a lot more people have a PS4 than an Xbox nowadays. They're both popular.
Okay, so we got Nintendo, Xbox, and
Combo.
then we got PC.
I would
no,
go with
PlayStation.
PC.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
What about you? Technically, you said PC first.
Technically, yes, but it's gonna be Xbox.
What about you, man?
I honestly straight up just say Xbox. I mean, with the advancements and the way things are going with technology and graphic wise, Xbox is backed by probably one of the best graphic designs and processing units, which would be Microsoft.
Yeah.
I mean, Apple has their issues, but let's face it, Apple is nothing but fucking show. It's a monopoly with show. It's a show and pony is all it is. But as Xbox versus PlayStation, definitely got to be Xbox, dude.
All right, well, that's one for. We got one for Nintendo,
What a weirdo.
one for PC,
Hey, it's Xbox.
one for PlayStation, and one for Xbox.
What do you
I'm
think?
I'm sorry, guys. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you're all wrong.
I can
I'm gonna do an unpopular opinion and tell you it's the Soulja Boy console.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Do you guys?
You should see the look on my face right now.
Do you guys remember? Horrific. Unpopular opinion. Do you guys remember The whole Soldier Ash, you might remember that
I've seen it, yeah.
where Soldier Boy came out with the console where he pretty much, for those of you who don't know, Soldier Boy a little while ago went and pretty much bought a Chinese Game Boy or something, and PlayStation called it the Soldier Boy console, got into video games, and literally just took a bunch of games from other companies that are actual games and put it on there and said it was his. And Nintendo filed a big lawsuit on him, and he had to drop it like immediately. And it was called like the Soldier Game Boy.
Yeah, because
and it
Soldier Boy
was
didn't
called
get
the
that money no
Soldier
more.
Boy Game Boy, and everyone was like, "Why wouldn't you just call it the Soldier Boy?" Like the game boy, that's a terrible name. But it was supposed to be like a handheld one.
That's Game Boy with extra steps.
Obviously, I'm joking. But if you guys didn't know, that's a little humor for you. That Soldier Boy tried to become relevant in the gaming industry. I thought that was
That right there is just a cry for help. Is all that is.
So he's the real MVP, and that's who I'm sticking with for my my who wins the consoles. And unfortunately, that's
Is
all
that
the
not
time.
racial bias?
So
Yes, I support the black community. It's
I can tell.
it's a little
we
biased.
have one vote for every console. We have one for Nintendo. We have one for PC, one for PlayStation, one for Xbox.
It's Xbox, damn it!
Soldier Boy.
My
So
vote.
I think
all
it's a
the
tie.
consoles
It's a
are on
tie.
the same level.
They're all on the same
Yeah.
level. It's a tie. That's what we've decided. It's a tie. Thank you.
Go out
Except
and buy
for
yourself a
one
Soldier Boy,
thing.
Game Boy.
Except for one
Yeah,
thing.
what?
I'm just gonna end it on Dreamcast. You're not gonna beat it. End of story.
Hey, that's Nintendo,
That-
ain't it?
Nope.
Oh, it's not.
Nope.
No, Dreamcast was his own thing.
Yeah, and then
Oh,
they're like,
yeah.
We don't know
faded
what
out.
happened to it. We know it was there and then it was gone.
We
It's
know,
an
we know
Illuminati
exactly what
inside.
happened to it. The PlayStation. The PlayStation ran it out of business. They couldn't compete with
No,
the
that's
games.
it was PlayStation.
Got balled out.
Really, that's the main thing.
Well, anyway, that's all the time we have for you. Thank you for joining us today. Thanks for getting lost with us. You've been on here with Cordell.
Cody.
Mark,
Ashton?
And Dylan.
Chad.
Faggot.